Hi guys, so it is now officially 2019 and with it comes a whole new year of exciting new game releases. In this video we'll be taking a look at 6 awesome post-apocalyptic games arriving this year, mainly because there is a lot of big games releasing with this setting and plus they're games I would like to cover on this channel. The 6 games listed are ones that have been given official release dates, but I also have a few I want to mention at the end that are also worth keeping on your radar. So let's get started. The first game we're going to talk about is Far Cry New Dawn, releasing on the 15th of February. As it mentions on the website, the game is set 17 years after a nuclear doomsday. Hope County, Montana, has changed in unexpected ways. Nuclear winter has given way to a super bloom, creating a lush, colourful landscape that survivors have begun to repopulate with makeshift buildings. It's a lawless frontier where people are struggling to get by, and you'll be able to experience it all with a friend in co-op or on your own as a lone gunslinger. As it mentions, this game takes place in Hope County, where the previous game was set, but after a nuclear war. However, this is not the only place you'll be able to visit. From interviews, there are going to be a number of other locations the player will travel to. A few other things to mention: this game is looking to be pretty much the same as any other Far Cry, but the weapon system has changed as it is now focused on more makeshift weaponry. Also, your dog companion can now travel with you in vehicles, and if that doesn't sell it to you, I don't know what does. Basically, it's Fallout in Far Cry, but probably more like Rage than Fallout. Next, we're going to take a look at Metro Exodus, which also comes out the same day as Far Cry New Dawn, February the 15th. The Metro series has always been considered as a must-play for any post-apocalypse fan and one of the best when it comes to game visuals and graphics. Set in a terrifying Russian wasteland, Metro Exodus and previous titles have focused on the survival horror side of post-nuclear war. The game is first person and is heavily stealth related. You'll be fighting humans as well as horribly mutated creatures. The website mentions that this game is one of the most immersive game worlds ever created. So let's move on to one of the most anticipated games coming in 2019, Anthem, releasing on the 22nd of February. Whilst not set in your traditional post-apocalypse, Anthem looks at a more mystical and sci-fi apocalypse. The backstory to the game is that the gods began creating a world known as Anthem, but before the gods had completed their creation, they disappeared and left a corrupted, unfinished world full of monsters and creatures. Humans have managed to survive, and a group known as the Freelancers have built Javelin exosuits to try and help to survive in this unforgiving universe. The game is third person and appears quite similar to Destiny in its format and the class system it showcases. Combining this with stunning visuals and a unique way to travel, Anthem is definitely worth a look. Number 4, we have The Division 2, releasing on the 15th of March. The Division 2 is a third-person open-world RPG with both co-op and PvP modes, very similar to the original. The game is set in an overgrown 1-to-1 scale of Washington DC in the summer, contrasting from the New York winter in the first game. Details on the website about the story say Washington DC is on the brink of collapse. Lawlessness and instability threaten our society, and rumours of a coup in the capital are only amplifying the chaos. All active Division agents are desperately needed to save the city before it's too late. You are a member of the Division, an elite group of civilian agents charged with being the last line of defence. With DC at risk, it's time to gear up and use your unique skills to take on this new threat. Also, if you want to buy the Division 2, I recommend you pre-order it, as you then get access to the beta. Then if you really don't like it after the beta, you can always cancel your pre-order. Releasing on April the 26th, up next we have a PS4 exclusive, Days Gone, filled with the largest zombie hordes to be seen in gaming to date. Days Gone is shaping up to be a contender for the Game of the Year. The game, as you'd expect, is set after the events of a global pandemic, and you take on the role of former outlaw Deacon St. John, a bounty hunter. The game is set in the Pacific Northwest, and it's up to the player to fight their way across the landscape, searching for resources and dealing with the zombies known as Freakers. The game is third person and an RPG. There's been quite a lot of gameplay already released for this game, so there's a ton for you to have a look at if you are interested. Now, just before we get on to the last game, please remember to hit that subscribe button. I really appreciate it, and you'll be helping me reach my goal of 1,000 subscribers. So finally, number 6, we have Rage 2, coming out on the 14th of May. Whilst the original Rage was not particularly a well-known game, Rage 2 looks to change that, with new vehicle mechanics designed by the esteemed Avalanche Studios, and a much faster pace and destructive combat system. Rage 2 looks a lot of fun. Now, the game itself is set 50 years after the original game, and the wider state of the world has moved on. The developers are referring to Rage 2 as a post-apocalyptic game with all the laser weaponry, explosions and high action gameplay you could ever want, with lots of similarities to Doom. Rage 2 will have an open world FPS experience where you can go anywhere, shoot anything and explode everything. So, although this video is only 6 awesome post-apocalyptic games coming this year, I cannot forget The Last of Us Part 2. The only reason this wasn't in the 6 was because there's no official release date for it yet. However, it is expected to release sometime in June or July this year. For those of you who have played the first game, you will know what a masterpiece the game really was. And if Part 2 is even half as good as the last one, we're in for a treat. I'm currently replaying the original and I am so excited for the next one. The Last of Us Part 2 takes place 5 years after the events of the original in an overgrown zombie-filled apocalypse. Another game which I've also done a few videos on is called The Outer Worlds, a first-person RPG which takes place in a space-related post-apocalypse setting. The Outer Worlds is created by Obsidian, the developers of Fallout New Vegas, and is expected to release sometime this year. The story revolves around large corporations that purchase planets, some of which turned out great, and others that have turned into a deadly wasteland. Anyway guys, that's about it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know in the comments if there's any game I missed. Other than that, remember to hit that subscribe button and I shall see you in the next one. Okay, thanks guys.